Yeah.
We had some park locals stop by the drum bath last night, and yeah, she welcomed them right in.
Park locals clearly battling addiction.
Yeah.
And under the influence of drugs, which I'm obviously not judging.
No.
But I felt that energy immediately. It was really uncomfortable for me because I've been there, you know, and I was almost surprised by my response. Like, I immediately felt not kind, not compassionate. How are you? You of all people should be embracing this person. But when we talked about it afterwards, her energy was really aggressive, which I get. And I think that's why I immediately went on the defense too, is because I know where her headspace was.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And it's not a safe place, and it's unpredictable. And then I had sweet little June with me, who's younger, you know, and she was like hiding behind me. You, by the way, were awesome, intervening too to light her cigarette, the lady's cigarette. Yeah, it was sad and evoked a really strange reaction for me. Like, I did not feel tolerant or loving at all. I felt, get the bleep away from me, you know?
It was a weird, concerning, it's like you want to be there for them, but at the same time, they weren't in the headspace to accept it.
No.
But you did well. I mean, you passed them a lighter off, but it's hard to really open up when someone's like stepping into your personal space in that form that it happened last night.
And I think, like I said, I think it was also jarring because it was a very familiar dark energy that, you know, I've been working to get away from, to not go back to that place. And so I'm sure that's what it was too. It was just like, ugh. Which it was, in hindsight, so after Michael and I were driving home and we started talking about it and I was kind of processing all my reactions to it, I was like, you know, at least I feel like Spirit wanted that to happen for me because I had had the urge to drink earlier in the day. Like, I didn't, but I wanted to. And so to be confronted in that dark, tangible energy, I was like, ugh, you know, like, no, I don't want to drink. I don't want to drink. I don't. I think I do. My disease is telling me I do, you know, but I don't. So I said multiple prayers for her, and which I sometimes, like, that sounds like such a cop out, like, oh, I prayed for her, like, but that's all I could do from where I was.
No, sometimes that is all you can do.
But Layla, though, she got down in there literally on the ground and was hugging her and listening to her, and yeah.
Very special. Even gave her the jacket right off her back.
Did she really?
She gave the lady her jacket.
Of course she did.
Yeah. But I'm sure that was a weird moment to like look into the mirror of the other self.
Definitely. It was very uncomfortable. But in hindsight, like I said, the fact that I had the thought or the urge to drink earlier in the day and then to see that was like, wow. Thank you, God, I think. I mean, please help this woman. Please help her. But thank you for reminding me that that's not a place that I want or need or belong.
It is interesting to have those moments because you so feel for her, and I know she's probably, I mean, obviously she's probably not quite happy in her situation, but in the weird synchronicity of life, it's like she was going through that so you could have that experience.
Right.
In a weird way, like.
Well, a confirmation that, oh no, I don't want to fall back into that realm of confusion.
Darkness. It's just pure darkness. Like,
it is, but I'm saying it's almost the beauty of the balance. Like, thank goodness for that darkness so you could see it.
Sure.
You know?
Definitely.
And yeah, we wonder why all this bad stuff's happening, but at the same time, it's what makes us want to do something different. Bring some love.
The older sister vibe in me was like going off though with Layla. Like, she reminded me of me 20 years ago. I'm about 20 years older than her, you know?
Yeah.
And fearless, just fearless. And some of that is spirit, and some of that is also a little bit of youth. And I'm like, please don't do stuff like that if you're by yourself though. Like, I get it, it's beautiful, but if you are alone, that's just, just please don't do stuff like that by yourself.
You do have to, be careful.
Yeah.
But Yeah, she had her soul family
Yeah.
backing her.
And I had my mace in my pocket, so.
You were ready to go. Yeah, I heard you saying
I was
that.
like, mace, activate. No, I hope not ever to use it, but yeah, I carry it, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Because I've been in some dark places in this earth school, where people, especially under the influence of drugs and alcohol, will do things that hopefully they would not do sober. Yeah, it's funny, I was talking to June, I was like, I was raised, my mom was really hippie-ish, free spirit,
Mm-hmm.
love and light, and my dad was military, so I'm like part hippie, part sniper. Just depending on the situation. I mean, I feel like that's why you have to be sometimes in Earth,
Okay. A light warrior.
Light warrior. Ooh, I like that. I've never heard that. Light warrior.
Yeah.
Light worker. I've heard light worker, but not light warrior.
I think that's one of Paulo's books. I think. I haven't read that one, but
Renegade Warrior of Light.
is that what it is?
That's one that was the Palladian book. The Guardians in the star system of Palladium. Pleiades star system.
I feel like my chair too squeaky. Is that going to be mine?
No.
Okay.
We're going to have a sound bath here coming up in just a few minutes. So get yourself ready. Ready as in lay down or sit down. Find a comfortable position. Grab your journey blanket and pillow maybe. And push away from your workstations, wherever that might be, wherever you find yourself for a moment. We'll have a little sound bath for 15 minutes maybe, 10, 15, 20 minutes. We'll, play that by however the drum wants to lead us and guide us and protect us as always. Our spirit guides, our guardians, spirit, God, divine source, all that stuff that's, ethereal and within us and without us. Thank you for always being present, even when we're not aware, always showing us the way, walking us on the path. That is always our place, here and now. Letting go of past, letting go of future. We're just here. Nowhere to go, nothing to do, no one to be. Resting, receiving, allowing. Letting the thoughts, thinking thoughts, just go, just let them go, not attaching, just letting them go. Floating downstream. deep breaths when you're ready. Medicine drum sound bath, shamanic drum journeying, guided meditation. We are legends from the painted cave. Thank you. No hurries, just rest. Breathe in your experience. Letting go of the thinking mind just for a moment. Letting go of the thoughts as they arise. Using your breath. Nowhere to go, nothing to do, no one to be, just here. Resting, allowing, receiving divine wisdom. Breathing, long breaths. Thank you. Legends from the painted cave. The painted cave being in our minds, the cave, our skull, the painted, our imagination, our superpower, visualization, imagination. The human's superpower where we can tap in, turn on, tune in to this amazing resource we have within us. Stop the monkey mind, focus. That's what we've been given to do, is to, bring the medicine drum and the meditation and the relaxation. So we went into Dewberry Cafe in Cameron yesterday. We stopped on our way to Three Roots Center in Cameron to Key. That's the lady's name. That's her farm out there, and M, and Sean and their baby. What's his name? Sloan.
And M.
Sloan and M, Mama, and we stopped into the cafe. Hadn't been there yet. Passed by there quite often to see if they would like to host our medicine drum sound bath. And she's about my age, older lady. And I said, hey, we had some little chit chat. And says, well, I'm here on behalf of God. Well, I didn't say that.
You did not say that.
Being a demigod.
Oh, here we go.
Said, have you ever heard of a sound bath? No. Singing bowls, crystal bowls. Yes, I've heard of them. That's what we do. People lay down or sit down, and it's very relaxing, deeply relaxing, actually. He says, I don't even know if I can do that. Mm-hmm. I said, I get that a lot. I've drummed for thousands of people, and in festivals, in my private practice at home, and oftentimes people's chatter, chit-chat, monkey mind settles down too. And she had the look of like curiosity and surprise and dread, like she was going to lose something so familiar. It was quite the expression. It took me a second to kind of like, wait, what's going on here? A lot. And I said, some people actually, the mind goes absolutely quiet, and it's a little surprise. It's quite surprising to folks, because it's a new thing.
Where'd my mind go?
Something's missing, and I'm not sure that's okay. I had one fellow that, John, he'd never been in a sound bath. He was feeling sick. He was a friend of a friend, and there was a little gathering at a little yoga studio, and he came in, and I happened to meet him at the door, and I said, John, what's wrong? He says, I am sick. I said, come. I kind of got him by the shoulder. I said, come on over here. I'll help you with that. And he didn't even question it. He was so done. He was like zombied. Because, he's the right mind. He's like, no, I'm fine. Would have done that whole thing. Got him laid down and drummed for about 15 minutes. And I gave him a lot of time to come back and to just feel what he was feeling. It's probably 2 minutes I sat quiet. And finally it was like, I was watching him to make sure he's breathing. And, he was okay. And he sat up and looked at me it was like a still moment. He turned his head so slowly, I thought I was in another dimension. I don't know if that was him or me, but the whole thing was slowed down, and he looked at me right in the eye and he said, and he was like, I could tell he was trying to think of how to say in words what his experience happened to him. And he said, the drum would not let my mind think. So does that happen often? He says, never in my life have I experienced quiet mind. The drum would not allow. And so that's what ran through my mind when I talked to this lady at Dewberry Cafe, was that moment. And I'm like, if you only could experience this, Madam Laura was her name. But her daughter and her husband are actually run the cafe and the antique shop right there downtown Cameron in the day. So we'll have to go back in the day and talk to those guys and
Definitely.
see if we can bring our magic medicine.
Speaking of magic medicine, I just, I haven't had visuals under the drum. I have not had any visuals since the first time
since
I did it.
2002 or something.
No, it was
20.
2017 or 2018.
Oh, okay.
I'm
sorry. Yes.
The first time we did it.
Right.
But yeah, I just did a little bit that time. It was awesome. I could see myself. It's just wild because I have just gave up on ever having visuals again. I've been trying to look at it just as the physical.
That's kind of the trick, isn't it?
Yeah, apparently.
That's when you see them.
Let go and let God.
And we've talked about this, like the last couple of times I've done it, I've just been thinking about the physical benefits, because it is physical benefits for your nervous system, anxiety, all of that. And I was just like, okay, cool. That's my only intention. Well, this time I could see me, but it was almost like it was smaller. Like I was bird's eye view, but I was watching myself float up. I saw the gemstones. Like I could even feel the texture of them. At one point,
see, that's unusual. Is when that sense comes in.
So I've never had. Yeah, I could feel the roughness of a gemstone at one point, and I was like, and the whole time though, like my mind is going, oh crap, we're doing this. Holy crap, we're doing this. Right? Don't lose it. But we're doing this. This is happening. Go with it. Then shut up. You know what I mean?
Right.
And then when you went up to you were saying the Council of Light,
Light workers.
Council of Light Workers. I saw them. It was kind of blurry, but I was spinning around them, and I was so excited to be there. And they were laughing, like not at me. They weren't laughing at me.
Oh, another human.
Yeah, they were like
They're
giggling.
so fun.
Yeah, and like I got like Gandalf vibes as far as physically. Like I don't know if that was just my. It wasn't like it was one. I did see like one specific man, and it was just kind of like joyful and long beard and robes, but they were sitting at a long, curved table, like a long curved table, semicircle, and I was in the center just spinning and spinning and spinning, so excited to be there.
Were you a light type being? Or was you in
really
your body?
Small. No, I was smaller. It was. Oh. That's what I realized. Like I wasn't even thinking about the fact until I started coming back down. When you took the meditation, coming back down, when you said your light body, but that makes sense now. It was like I was smaller and different, but it was me. I knew it was me. And then when I came back down, I saw the earthly trees. That was very vivid. Bark. I could see the bark very clearly. And then going into my body, I I saw physical me sitting here. Like I saw my face how it looks now. Like the light being me, there was no distinct facial features. It was almost ethereal, cartoonish, like very small, but human form. Like, but then going back into my body, like I saw my face how it looks right now, sitting here, and this is just crazy. Anyone who's
Surprise.
listening, like I haven't been able to have a visual since 2017, 2018.
Huh.
Interesting.
Yeah, that was a spontaneous script.
I was going to ask you, where did that come from?
That's
Because
a
we're going to
new-
have to do that again.
Never done that one. Yeah.
Wow.
I was thinking about walking into the water like the one that you were telling me about. That's where I started at.
No, it's interesting that you just spontaneously did that.
Lightworker Oracle
The
cards.
Lightworker Oracle cards. That's just, yeah. I was going to ask you, have you done that before?
I'm here. Speak, I listen.
I do appreciate trying to bring all the senses in,
Yeah.
like really hearing the river going around you, feeling it on your skin, smelling
On my
it,
skin, on your skin.
all of our skins. To smell it, to witness it, yeah, brings that whole body into it.
You like kind of put an effort into that a little bit. You're conscious, aware of doing that particular.
Yeah, just recently though,
Mm-hmm.
with coming across the tail of like walking into the river and feeling like the mud below your feet and everything. That's definitely sort of changed the way I did it. And it has been more of a bringing all the senses in. I guess that's also the trick to lucid dreaming, is more bringing yourself into it instead of just like witnessing something. That's lucid living as well, really bringing yourself to the moment, to the present.
Lucid living. Did you just make that up right now?
No, we stumbled upon that a couple times,
I like that.
but it is the same idea, the awareness.
Awareness of the present moment, whether in a trance or dream state or in our physical reality we live, in our ordinary reality. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So you had a visual landscape pop up.
I did. Yeah, I definitely had some nice visuals. That's what I do appreciate about the radio, because you don't do as much of the journey at the park, but here we really get like a story.
Yeah, it's guided in
Yeah,
the
more
studio
guided.
mostly.
I do appreciate that. It's a good balance for like, over the radio you can't feel the vibrations, and it's like, okay, well, can't feel the vibrations, we'll at least guide you.
Yeah. I feel like the guided is a game changer.
We
for
were
me.
talking about that this morning on the way here. Yeah.
Yeah.
Finally, I said, well, just put on a speaker, then they can give us a guided meditation while we're driving.
Which is exactly what my card reading told me this morning, was calming my mind down. My mind needs rest. I'm absorbing so much new information, and before I did the reading, I that's what I was praying, talking to God, spirit team, all that. Like, listen, I need you to help me set some of this stuff down. Like, I'm getting into obsessive thinking, analyzing stuff that I have no control over, and I know that intellectually. I know that, but I can't stop, and I need you to help me. Dude,
Help me, help me.
This card deck, man. We're gonna do a reading for Ian in a little bit, but it literally, the card I pulled is
Pull your speaker a little closer.
your mind needs rest.
There you go.
Your mind needs rest. You're absorbing all this information, and it suggested some guided meditation. It's uncanny. I guess it's not.
Out of the can.
Out of the can.
Yeah, divining with cards or bones or ruins or tea leaves or guts of and it just goes back forever
Yeah.
in the human experience.
And
I need answers. Grab the dirt and smell
Hmm.
messages.
Yeah. I will, disclaimer, like I'm very careful with it, and Michael and I were talking this morning about how I love my card readings. I use the Lightworkers Oracle, which we'll talk about, and the Native American medicine cards. I do believe I'm being very careful with it. Like, you can, because so when I first started doing it several months ago, I was doing it every morning, sometimes more than once a day. And to me, in my head at that time, I was thinking of that as conscious contact with God. And it is, and it isn't. Like, now I see, like, I want, as most of us do, I want tangible answers. I want clear-cut directions. And these will give you some clear-cut directions and instructions. But I don't think it's the same as sitting there and just communing directly with God. Does that make sense? It's a tool. It can be helpful. I think it helps the mind. For me, it helps my mind more than anything. It gives me a little something tangible, some tangible direction to go on to. However, I figured out through trial and error, that's a story for another day. If you do it too much, you'll have 3 circuits in your apartment blow, and they'll start messing with the electricity and trying to tell you back off. Like, this isn't, not back off in a dark way, just like
Obsessing,
and
abusing the medicine.
yeah, kind of abusing the
Sort
medicine.
of,
Imagine
yeah.
that, recovering alcoholic abusing the medicine. Shocking.
more,
Feed me.
grabbing, clutching.
So since being, out at Midway, and I've been at 2 or 3 walks a day, especially my morning walk, and sitting by the water and just having quiet and communing with God, and still using these tools, the cards, but it's in a not obsessive at all. It's just, it's nice. And I had to learn that through trial and error. So I'm trying to save anybody else. Like, don't get weird about it. Don't be like me about it and try to do it several times a day. Because it's just, that's me trying. I want answers, and I want it this way. And I want,
I want you to answer me this way.
Exactly. I want you to answer me this way in a way that I'm comfortable with. So really, it's just me trying to play God by abusing that. Now, not abusing it, cool.
You were calling his phone up too often.
Yeah, I was blowing his phone up. Oh my God, Ian, that's so funny. Yeah. Yeah. Wow.
And what do I do, or what do we do when someone's blowing our phone up? Turn the ringer on.
Put it on silent. Absolutely. Wow.
Yeah, that direct revelation, just that honest communication from the heart. Say, look, I just need some help here. You're always with me and always protecting and guiding me. And I need some help. I just need to talk to you one-on-one. And the tools are great, like you said.
Right. And in a respectful, balanced way is what I'm kind of figuring out. That
Are you a mystic?
Am I a mystic? What is your definite, or what is the actual? Do I have to look up the Webster's term of mystic?
We're all mystics, even if we don't realize it yet.
Yeah. Those that have the ability to contact Source, to be in communion with God,
So all of us.
demigods.
This is what the dictionary says. Mystic, a person who seeks by contemplation and self-surrender to obtain unity with or absorption into the deity or the absolute, or who believes in the spiritual apprehension of truths that are beyond the intellect.
Beyond truth.
Wow. Oh, then yeah, I'm definitely a mystic.
Yeah, for sure.
We all are. Yeah, now I get it.
Everybody.
I just wanted to read, before I answered that, my intellectual brain was like, I need the exact definition of this.
Sure.
Yeah.
The ability to contact God at will. At will.
At will.
Anytime. And that is like everything that us humans do. It takes practice, repetition, and then becomes like kind of a muscle memory sort of thing. Like just like we can do it, and someone says, "How do you do that?" It's like, "Do what?" What are things just? What is your life just when you want something and you say, "Oh, I want this," it just goes to you. How do you do that? It's like, well, never really thought about it. Because, sometimes it's an innate thing and people just have that. It's kind of, psychics and clairvoyance and stuff. But
Right.
still, it takes some getting used to.
For sure.
Oh my gosh, I have this ability. It's like, I want more.
Yeah. Yeah. It's
And we are that. We are humans. We have this divine access,
and I've thought about researching it, like we're talking about
intuition,
researching all these things, right? That's what my mind, my
looking into
intellect,
books and
but reading all the books about it, how to do this, how to do that. And then though, and I do read some books, and I do read some information about it, but I have stopped myself from going down the rabbit hole in a deep dive of exploring spirit work, clairvoyance, all that kind of stuff, because I know that the way I learn best is walking straight through it myself, walking in borderline ignorant, because I don't like to have like a concept, and already have something in my mind, or this is what it's going to be like. Same thing with the medicines, the plant medicines. Like, I wanted to know as little as possible.
totally.
Someone told me, oh, you can watch these YouTube videos and everybody talk. I was like, nope, not doing that, because that's their experience. And I don't want to already have that in my head.
The preconceived
The
notions.
preconceived notion. Thank you. That is the phrase I was looking for. The preconceived notion. So
Expectation.
I feel like it's more powerful with the spirit relationship to just walk in it.
Yeah,
Just
really.
you.
Well, then
really
you're
the only
open.
thing. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I'm just at that point
Yeah.
you're completely open to it. You haven't set parameters or borders or expectations.
Right.
Yeah, it's a little bit more
Organic.
unknown. But so really, the only tool or thought or expression really we need to keep in mind is really especially with plant medicines or any situation that's new, is God, you're with me. You're always with me. You're always leading and guiding me. And I'm going to trust that you are now, even though this is a very unknown that I'm heading into or in. And I'm going to trust. And really that's it. That's going, we have to surrender. And that's kind of a surrender thing. I'm going to trust. I'm not going to prejudge the situation. I'm not going to put parameters or expectations. Just, I'm here.
This is for my greater good, my betterment. Yeah.
Legends from the Painted Cave, WCOM FMLP, Carborough Chapel Hill. In the studio today, we have Ian, ever faithful, ever present. Say hello, Ian.
Hello.
What would you like to tell our listening audience today, and maybe yourself too, while you're listening to yourself anyway?
You're doing great. Keep it up. It's often hard to see our own growth, to see our own achievements, our greatness, our own light, our purpose. But it's there.
You're so positive.
I am a little sick this morning, so I do feel sort of out of it. So thanks for holding it down.
I'm not holding anything.
I'm not holding anything.
I'm not holding anything.
Clutching.
No, Ian your vibes are so soothing. I wish, like the true recovering alcoholic I am, I could bottle up your energy, because I would abuse the hell out of it. I would drink it all day.
The Ian potion.
No, that's
Ian potion.
That's you seeing yourself in the mirror.
Oh, geez, Louise. Here we go. That's exactly something you would say. That's really kind.
You said it.
Oh my god. Mental mind grenades. Oh, that's redundant. A mental mind grenade. That's redundant. Just a mind grenade.
A mental mind.
Mental mind.
Mind, mental.
Happy. Be happy. Don't worry, be happy.
Good advice.
I don't know where you got that from.
Somebody should write that down.
Yeah, that should be a song.
That should be.
That was Billy the Fish. You know that one?
That's not Bob Marley?
No, this was like
Not
before,
exactly.
a little bit before your time.
Terminology.
Oh. Don't
Yeah.
worry.
Oh,
Be
no,
happy.
oh wait, we're
That
all
was the
talking.
song.
We're all talking
Don't
about something
worry,
different.
be happy.
We're all talking about something different. Don't Worry, Be Happy was Bobby McFerrin, and it was like the
Bobby
mid '90s.
Hmm.
It was, and so that there was like a little wood piece and a rubber fish on it, and he was singing that song.
Mhm.
His head would move. Don't worry, be happy.
I was young. I can still see that music video.
Can I play that? Play that song.
If you want to.
Sing it for us.
I'm not gonna do that. Absolutely not.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Yeah, being part spirit and part human, part physical, part non-physical, it can be confusing sometimes. It's like, who's, like, you're all talking at once. Can we please just one at a time? Single file.
Definitely. Yeah.
Or we can talk about Donald Trump and,
Ugh.
you know, and
Not
all
talk
that.
politics. No politics. No politics.
Yeah, thank you.
Oh, jeez.
Thought I'd just throw that out there just in case.
Just no politics. We could do this.
Spirit politics.
We could do Ian's reading. I'm gonna answer you done.
The time is here
Is it
and
here?
now.
Do you
right now.
let do you let other people touch your deck?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Before I would, and so this is. I'm just starting to get into reading for other people. Like I've done it a few times years ago, not with this deck. I just started this deck a few months ago. But I think, in the way I was taught, is to get your energy on it. Whoever's getting the reading,
Mm-hmm.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That to me that makes sense.
Huh.
Yeah.
Sure, totally.
Yeah.
Full agreement.
Full agreement.
Absolute.
So, all right, guys, we are doing a card reading for Ian, and then don't want to leave you out. Go, Papa. We can do one for you too. He's been doing a couple at the house.
I got like 3 old man cards.
No, you didn't.
Yeah, obviously.
I get it.
So,
Tell me something I don't know.
Yeah, exactly.
we are using the Lightworker Oracle Guidebook by Elena Fairchild, and this was one of those decks. I was in the metaphysical store.
Physical.
Metaphysical store in Savannah called the Cosmic Corner, which if you're in Savannah, Georgia, listening, it's a very cool place. And it was one of those things, I was not there with the intention of getting a deck. I was just there with my aunt. We were walking around, and I was across the room, and I turned
Love you,
around.
Michelle.
Hi, Michelle. And I turned around and walked straight towards it, picked it right up. Didn't go looking for it, didn't look any other decks, just like tractor beam, sucked me right in. And I just picked it up, and then this is why, because I only work in the light. I don't get into any dark magic, but this says, this deck is for those who feel an inner calling to connect with divine light and higher frequencies of consciousness to bring healing to the world. You can create a positive contribution to our planet, evolve spiritually, and develop your innate abilities to work with energy through different healing modalities, channeling, and communication with higher beings such as angels, ascended masters, and other spiritual guides. You can help humanity shift from fear to love. You might already know you are a light worker, or maybe you wonder if you're meant to be a healer or guide for others on their spiritual journey. If you are attracted to this deck, then your soul is telling you that you are a light worker and you have a life purpose that involves healing yourself and the earth. Lightworker Oracle is designed to support your deeper awakening, empower you, and encourage you to fulfill your divine life purpose. I mean, how
Did
fantastic
you write that? You
does
wrote that.
She did.
Who?
She did.
I didn't write this.
You did.
You guys stop. I did not write it. I get it. The one conscious, we're all one thing. Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
Hippie did
Y'all get it yet?
I get it, and I do believe that on some level, but also just like when you're doing a radio show and you're getting into semantics, that's confusing.
What's her name again? Fairchild?
Elena Fairchild.
Elena Fairchild. Lightworker card.
Knuckleheads, both of you.
I'll accept that.
I just love that. All right, so I
I'm a light
You
worker.
start shuffling.
Hmm.
I'm gonna burn a little bit of sage. I
Ooh,
won't do it without sage.
yes.
That's just some of my deep-rooted Native American beliefs. I believe it's protection, and I don't think it's absolutely necessary. Like, I don't feel like I would be unsafe without it.
Yeah.
It's part of my process, and I feel connected to spirit. Oh, I brought my own.
Cool.
We're both carrying around sage.
Oh, you got
I got some
Palo
Palo
Santo.
Santo on
Yeah,
me.
you got Palo Santo. But yeah, some people are fine to just sit down and just like pull out a card quickly, and that's fine too. I just have a little process that hasn't failed me yet. I mean, I haven't been possessed by a dark energy or entity yet, so I'm just kidding. I don't think that's
That's exactly what they would say.
exactly. I don't know. It's just, and I've never been.
What if there's no such thing?
right?
what if?
Oh, there's definitely darker,
all
lower
your
realm attachments.
imagination.
I've experienced them.
No, it's all the same thing.
No, it's not. No, it's
It
not. No,
is.
it's not. No, it's not. No, it's not.
It's
You don't feel
it's
like the same thing.
It's the same reason, there's got to be darkness in the world. There's got to be sadness and pain.
Same but different.
I mean, I get what you're saying. I don't believe in like the traditional, like, oh, it's a demon, blah, 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 it's awful, it's evil, it's evil. It's not that. I just, when I've experienced what I was told and what I know I experienced with some darker, lower realm attachments, I prayed for their safe passage to the light. And so I get what you're
you
saying.
pray for the dark energy
To
critters.
to get back to the Creator,
So-
to get back to divine love and light, and to
So
get-
instead of like cursing and shielding and blocking
Right.
and battering,
Exactly.
you do quite the opposite.
quite the opposite.
You showed it
Uh,
love.
Love and
Exactly.
pray for them. Pray for them.
Powerful medicine right there.
Pray for them, because
Powerful medicine.
whether it's in Ian, like back to what you're saying, whether it's all the same and it's some part of me or my consciousness or spirit that was down in darkness, and it is all connected. I have definitely felt though the difference in different layers, levels of energies from myself, from whatever. Every time I talk to Ian, I have to go home and think about it later.
Yeah. All one thing.
Okay, so I'm saying a prayer for protection.
Yes, thank you.
Protection from our Creator, divine love. Our intention is to receive some wisdom, some insight, some comfort. And we call upon Ian's spirit team to communicate, tell him what you want him to know, what's going to help him, support him on his journey, which is towards love and the evolution of our consciousness into more and more and more love. And we thank you.
Thank you.
And pray for love and protection to all beings, and pray for the spirit of love and light to continue to grow in strength and in numbers on this earth and in this world. In Jesus' name, amen.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Blessed.
Bless
So
you.
what I would do, those cards are very intense. We'll just do one. That's, I think, that's,
Sure.
you pick.
Come. Should I pull it off the top?
Whatever you feel. Take a minute, don't rush if you want. I mean,
Legends from the Painted Cave. WCOM-FM-LP, Carborough, Chapel Hill. We are just
Ooh.
beginning a
Grounding.
light
I get this one a lot.
worker
It's a good
medicine card drawing.
actually pull one more. We need to pull one more. Grounding, because I find I do best in twos. Grounding. So the first
is
card.
Drowning. Light worker.
Earth healing.
Oracle.
Ooh, I've never pulled that one, I don't think. Very cool. All right, so Ian pulled grounding and earth healing. So we'll start with grounding, which is, I get that card a lot from this deck, and it's good advice all day, every day for everyone, especially if you're highly tuned in and going through spiritual processes right now and awakenings, whatever verbiage you want to use. But yes, grounding. So, you long for the free and open worlds of spirit and light, yet you also yearn to experience the healing power and divine joy of sacred sound and living color. You are meant to bring joy, beauty, and comfort to this world, to share the spiritual light. To do so, you need grounding. Your dreams want you just as much as you want them. Grounding helps you bring your dreams to life in your world for the benefit of many. When a reminder comes from higher guidance to ground oneself, it is a loving encouragement, never a judgment. Grounding is a spiritual version of remembering to call your mother. It is a chance to check in with what's happening in your physical life and make sure you're giving appropriate time and energy to what really matters to your heart. I find that very interesting. Physical life, real quick, interject. You're sick and not feeling good physically. See? Okay. It is a chance to appreciate the beauty of the natural world and the love in your relationships. It's a chance to make sure your spiritual work is being applied in your life in ways that feel good for you. It is a chance to speak your prayers rather than only think them. You might even dance them or create a colorful flower offering. Practice soothing and calming yourself so that you can return yourself to a contented, trusting, and peaceful state of being. Take care of your body. Be sure to get plenty of hydration and rest. Spend time in nature. Use salt baths to cleanse your energy. Eat foods that strengthen and nourish you. Ground yourself by releasing emotional content if you are either swinging from one extreme to another or retreating to your head to analyze rather than express. Choose what works for you. You'll know when you are grounded because you will feel very connected to your body, aware of your emotions, and clear, energized, and present. If you're not feeling that way, this oracle says you can. Your energy and well-being can improve, and you can feel good about who you are and how you choose to live your life. Grounding will help you and help the universe too. And the invocation is, I call upon the loving genius of the divine and my own spirit. Please help me now through unconditional love and divine mercy to ground all levels of my being so I can manifest my highest and most lovingly joyful destiny now. I enjoy being present in the here and now with my body and my breath, receiving spiritual light and shining it through my heart into the world. I love my body and my senses, my soul and my heart. They are all avenues for my spirit to experience and express in this world for the greatest good. May all living beings feel helpful grounding through unconditional love for the highest good. Through my own free will, so be it. Normally, I like to have the person say the invocation, but I got carried away. But
No, I prefer if you. I like.
That's what he said.
I like taking it in. Yeah.
He asked me when I was doing like because it's written in the eye, you know, and I'm such a literal. That's my on the spectrumness of. I get really uncomfortable when things aren't done like literally the way they're supposed to be, and I'm working on that.
No, that was good. Myself was reading it to me.
Yeah, what'd you think of that one? Then we'll do the next one. What'd you think? What'd you feel? What do you know?
That was quite perfect. I think the main thing that stood out to me today with the drum or the sound bath was witnessing the roots growing from my feet into the ground here.
Yeah.
Like really just like witnessing
and then you pull
it.
grounding. I'm sorry, it's
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Oh my.
It's amazing.
Out here, you know.
How about that?
Oh,
it did
sure.
fit right in with the tree and the roots and all that. Yeah. Sound bath. So, by the way, I'm sorry, real quickly.
Yeah.
So this recording of the sound bath in the show is available to anybody who would like to have that. Just give me a shout
Awesome.
at Medicine Drum Sound Bath on Facebook or.
Medicine Drum Sound Bath on Facebook. Yes, I'm going to go listen to that. I'm so glad you recorded that.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah, hiccups remind me how to do that. I've only just it's only been 2.5 years.
right.
Someone's.
All right, we'll read the next card, and then because I found out the hard way that if you pull some
You're
cards,
so lucky.
Yeah, right. I always find out the hard way.
Try and
So
learn the
lucky.
easy way. This is no fun.
Yeah, but the hard way is when it really sticks with you.
Yeah, I mean it's
Very
effective.
sticky.
I say that it's effective. Mhm.
And then someone walks up in a public place and reminds us of who we used to be under the zombie spell and say, I will never do that again. I hate this experience.
Yeah.
But boy, what a home run.
Whew. Absolutely. I need to take a moment and appreciate that again. Oh my goodness. I get like, I'm like super anxious, high strung, a lot of the time. And I get this urge to rush, not just because we're recording a radio show, but because like in normal conversation, even doing card readings, like I start to feel this I
Right.
feel this urge to rush.
Yeah.
Like I have to get my words out and then shut up. Get your words out and then shut up. And it's not just because of the setting we're in. Like I feel like this in social settings. I'm like, where does that come from? Why
I don't
do
want to
you...
inconvenience anybody
Oh.
longer than I have to.
Exactly. Exactly. And so I'm trying to examine.
But this has to get out. So hurry up
Right.
and get the hell back in your corner, woman.
I think that's why I talk so fast a lot of the time is, but I'm wondering, and then sometimes I'll get resentful. This is real dark, at the other person because I'm thinking this pressure is coming from them.
Right.
They're pressuring me to
Projection.
hurry up and shut up. And I'm like, I don't know what they're thinking. Well, I don't know what they're thinking. I'm not that clairvoyant yet. I'm just kidding. Like,
I mean, I am.
but no, but like, why do I feel that way? You know what I mean? If anybody else, like, why? Where does that come from?
The devil.
Yeah. It's something I'm becoming highly aware of
Yeah.
and want to work on that.
Yeah.
Oh, but
Well, you are.
yeah,
By the way.
I am working
You're
on
doing it.
I'm doing it right now, guys. But yeah, so one time I was really tired and doing a card reading and I pulled 3 cards. And this was quick backstory where I was waking up at 3 a.m. every day. I believe the spirits were waking me up every day at 3 a.m. like clockwork because that is supposed to be like the most...
The witching hour.
The witching... I don't like that term, the witching hour. But
Yeah.
the time of
The
veil
mystic hour.
The mystic
The
hour.
mystic
There you
hour,
go.
thank you.
The time of veil is the most thin. But finally, after a couple of weeks of that, I was so exhausted. I was still going to regular work and doing all this. And so one morning I woke up and I pulled my cards and I read the first 2 and then I was like, ugh. And I took my hand, I still had one, and I just like shoved them aside like I didn't finish the reading. And that was the morning 3 circuits in my apartment blew. The electricity went
you
haywire.
never told me this.
Yeah. And
It was like, you should have listened to us.
Yes,
We were trying to warn you.
I felt like what it was like kind of a disrespectful thing. Like, look, you called us here, we're doing this reading, and then you just go and slide the cards off and I don't like it wasn't in a threatening way. I'm not speaking from a place of fear. It was kind of like, hey girl, you need to learn this. Like if you're gonna do it, have the respect, finish the process, or don't do it. So yeah, we're going to finish this reading because I'm not doing that again. And because I thought about it afterwards, and I was like, oh, that was a learning lesson because they're teaching me.
Electricity, right?
Like what?
Electricity.
Electricity. Yeah, the electricity went nuts. My dryer at that apartment, and I wasn't using it. I had not turned it on in 2 days. It was nothing like that for all the naysayers out there. Like it was very, and you can be a naysayer, that's fine, but. I was sitting there. I know what happened, and that there was nothing different. I didn't have anything else plugged in. It was just out of boom.
Have you ever
as
heard
soon
of
as I did it.
anybody else having a electrical issue with their emotions?
Oh, me and my mom in our
Okay,
at
so
times,
this is
yeah.
something that's happened
Oh,
before.
it's happened to me before.
Okay, so you're familiar with that.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Yes, I've never had it happen that intensely and exactly in that moment. Soon, like it was wild. It got my attention, which I believe was the purpose, was to get my attention. And it was not too long after that I kind of realized I'm being obsessive about this, and I need to give this more reverence. It's becoming like drugs and alcohol were to me. It's becoming like I gotta have it, I gotta do more, and that's not what this is for. You know, I was seeking a spiritual high, but.
Oh, it was a
Using it to
replacement
get, it was a
therapy.
replacement. Yeah, I was addiction transference.
Oh,
Totally.
there, yeah.
Totally addiction transference. So it got my attention. I learned something, and I'm learning.
Growing.
All right, so the second card Ian pulled is Earth Healing. Earth Healing. I love that you got
More grounding stuff.
Grounding and Earth Healing. That is so interesting. Oh, and I believe this. I love the first line. This is so Ian. You are making a real contribution to the planet through your spiritual journey. Remember this and believe that your needs will be generously met by the earth and the universe. What you are doing matters, and you will be supported. The earth recognizes you. She sees you as a conduit through which she is fed higher frequencies of light, love, and divine presence. This assists her on the journey of her own evolution. Earth is an exceptionally beautiful and powerful divine being in her own right. Yet she, like every other being, benefits from the assistance of higher frequencies which offer a loving hand to help raise her vibration and continue her evolution. You are here to have your spiritual life journey in a human body. Part of that process will involve sharing your light with the earth itself. This may see you take on the role of a healer, guide, mentor, or teacher to others on the path. It may see you doing work with the natural world, with various earth-centered causes such as conservation, animal welfare, organic and biodynamic farming, and ethical food production. It may involve an active prayer life that's ongoing through your day, praying for assistance, compassion, clearing, and blessing when you see an accident on the road, an animal or person who seems to be suffering, or an item on the news that you know needs light and healing. From the most obvious gestures to the more subtle, the oracle tells you that you are powerful enough to make a meaningful contribution to the quality of consciousness upon Earth. Earth asks you to do your work with quiet confidence and dedication. She gives thanks for all you have done and acknowledges her love for you. She will support you in your work by providing material means for you while you are here on this planet. This includes financial support, housing, food, and human and animal relationships. She will also provide guidance for your progress, opportunities to grow and expand your field of influence, education, and training opportunities, the means to take advantage of them, and the chance to apply what you have learned in a real-world context. The more you devote yourself to your task of earth healing, the more the earth will support you in fulfilling your inspired goals. If you have been wondering if the spiritual work you are doing is making a contribution, take this oracle as validation that it is. What you are doing matters. You're going to expand and grow in the work you are doing and the impact that you have in the world because you are capable of that. But you are already helping in ways that you may not even realize, but that the earth and spiritual worlds do. You have loved the earth enough to take human form and do your work here. She knows it and will reward you richly for it. Keep working, shining, and growing, dear one. Your presence here is so needed and honored. Oh, I agree with that 100%. For those of you who don't know Ian, he's got that vibe. And the invocation: through unconditional love, I am empowered to live my divine destiny. I trust in my gifts and talents. I know that all I need for divine success shall be provided for me. I now choose of my own free will to release any blocks, consciously or unconsciously held, around trusting the earth to provide me with all that is needed to fulfill my divine life purpose. I am so grateful to receive all that I need and more. I feel much joy within me about my life, what I am capable of, what I have attained so far, and how much I can offer to the earth. I live from my heart with absolute trust. May all beings know their genuine worth and have confidence to express their grace. Through my own free will, so be it. Amen.
Thank you.
Oh, don't thank me.
I get why you would want to turn to these all the time. I'm like, tell me more nice things about myself. Tell me more.
Tell me more. Tell me more nice. I know, it's just, you're right. I never thought of it that way.
It's like the medicine drum. When people are under the drum, it's like,
More.
You stopped. It was like 1/2 of a second. It's like, no, that was 20 minutes.
Oh yeah, I get
It's like,
super irritated with you. I get super mad at you when you
No,
stop.
I'm gonna-
And then I'm like,
We had Gabby was in with us at over there at Sanford. What's Samantha's place?
Alchemy Wellness.
Alchemy Wellness Center, and she said after we drummed, she said, if after drumming over me, when you move the drum too fast away, I get a headache. So just do that kind of gradual. I had never heard that before, but I totally get it. It like makes total sense.
mm-hmm.
You know, it's an abrupt shift, especially if we're in the spirit world. It's like, come back now. Like, whoa, give me a second.
Right. Gradual, be gentle.
Yeah, so Oracle cards, there's lots of different brands of cards, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, different people in their own, lots of them.
Did you feel like that? Did it resonate with you? Did it?
Yeah, I'd take those. I do.
Yeah. And I feel like it's not only just it's positive, warm, and fuzzy. For me, it's every time it's been on point of like where I am, what I'm feeling, what I'm like this morning praying for my mental stuff. I need help with my mental stuff.
Yeah.
Boom, cards were your mental state needs rest. You need to rest. You're absorbing all this spiritual information, and you need.
It's exhausting.
Yeah.
Why did we drop you in the middle of nowhere
exactly.
on some property you're unfamiliar with? Well, not with the people, but
No.
it's like there's nowhere to go. It's like
Nowhere to go.
Rest.
Nothing to do. No one to be.
No one to be.
Knowing to be means just rest.
And my
That's all that.
mental exhaustion is still, it's getting better, right? You're around me. I feel like there are days, sometimes in this awakening process, whatever you want to call it, we're all on our own journey. I don't know.
I like awakening process.
Yeah. I feel like the awakening process has become like, I sound like a hipster when I say this, and I'm not a hipster. Like, it's become mainstream. It's not that. I just don't, for me, it's so subjective and it's personal. Like, and I feel like whether someone acknowledges what I used to and still do sometimes call hippy dippy baloney, like, it's happening to all of us. It's
Fight
part
all
of the
you
human,
want.
It's part of the human experience, and I'm not saying, oh, it's starting now in 2025 or it started in 2017. No,
Right.
it's always happening.
That's life.
It's life. Yeah, thank you. And I'm
A spiritual video game we're in.
Human. It's called human.
I know, you're like, don't get me started.
Don't start the simulation theory crap. I will get up and walk out of here. I'm just kidding. Yeah. And there are lots of different cards, like you were saying, and that's why.
Quieting the mind.
Mm-hmm.
An ancient practice, because any human that has a mind needs to learn how to quiet that darn thing.
Mm-hmm.
Or listen to it.
A little bit of both.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Listen better.
yeah.
I've been doing the watching the thoughts go by, and I'll acknowledge it. I see you.
Nah.
I see you.
You cutie.
I see you doubt. I see you self-loathing. I see you over there.
But,
You
but
know.
kind of in a nice, playful way.
Yeah.
Not like a doubting or anything
No,
like that.
playful.
Yeah.
Playful. That's what Eckhart Tolle, he has the best advice for the ego.
Yeah.
Laugh at it. We cannot destroy the ego. We cannot live
Humor.
without it. Yeah. You need it for survival. So his advice is, when you have, which I do, those crazy, insane, egotistical thoughts, laugh at it. Laugh. I see you, ego. You keep me alive.
Tickle,
but you
tickle,
give
tickle, tickle.
you give terrible advice sometimes. You know?
Oh, feels terrible. Yeah. Yeah, we have a lot of, I like the demigod idea. You know, we're part God and part human.
I'm not gonna lie, that makes me so uncomfortable.
Part physical, part non-physical. You like that one better.
Yeah, the demigod is just conditioning of God. Like, that's sacrilegious. That's sacrilege, what you're saying.
But
That's
just part.
part. But I mean, it makes sense. We come from God. God created us. How could we not be? It's like we're
How can we not
part
be?
mother, part father of our biological parents, you know?
Well, I mean, that's kind of
Made in
the
the image and likeness.
whole rumor is.
The rumor?
Yeah.
The rumor. What's the rumor?
Well, it's like
What?
the religions are trying to say you are God.
Hearsay.
You are the demigod or whatever. But then at the same time, society has tried to take our powers away by saying, oh, no, it's bad to think like that.
Right.
Very confusing.
Very
that
confusing.
was,
Yeah, that's true. It's because, well, that was Jesus' whole issue with the church. He saw that immediately. That's corrupt.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not saying every church, before anybody freaks out. I'm not saying every church at all. I'm just saying the system of it.
well, he lived at a certain time.
Well, yeah. I'm not even going to go down that road right now. Yeah. It's, man is definitely using religion to control and to guilt, shame, fear is like the greatest weapons of control.
Use me, but don't abuse me.
Politics of it all.
Politics in the church. Not a fan.
I'm a politic. More than one. Many. Poly meaning many.
Don't mansplain.
Poly one cracker. Wow.
He's wandering
Oracle
off.
cards.
He's wandering off.
Yeah, wandering off for a minute.
You should go to a grocery store with him. That's an experience.
Tell us about it.
Oh.
What's it like?
He's peeking at me through the window.
We're going to know all your secrets.
No, just watching Michael walk around the grocery store is exactly how you might imagine it. Like, the man doesn't walk around anywhere with purpose. Like, he wanders. Like, he just wanders around. Do you know what I mean? And
Yeah.
I'll turn the corner, and he's just got his arms loaded with stuff instead of getting a cart or a basket. You know what I mean? Like, he is such a character. If no one's ever seen him, go look up his Facebook. Michael Kurt Dre or Medicine Drum Sound Bath. He's a character. I mean, he's a storybook character. He looks like a storybook character.
For those of y'all that have seen the movie Soul on Disney,
Yes. I know.
Kurt is the drum man. The guy spinning the sun, that is Kurt.
That is so funny. I forgot. That's a great movie.
It's a beautiful
That's
movie.
a wonderful movie. I need to watch that again.
That one's a trip. That one is really on that beautiful spiritual
Deep.
side. Yeah.
Yeah. That's so funny that you brought that up, because I was telling him, I was like, after we finish the show and go home, like, I'm taking the card's advice. I need to rest my mind. I've either been reading, writing, contemplating, praying. I was like, I need to find a kids movie today to put on.
Yeah.
Boom. Soul. Comforting kids movie. Yeah.
It is one of those kids movies that you're like, no, this was made for adults.
Totally.
Like, a kid's gonna be entertained, but this was made for the adults.
Definitely. So, Ian, do you think you have ascension flu?
Yeah, the transition flu.
The transition flu?
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like I've had that before. I feel like it makes sense, right? I remember my mom was the first person to bring that up several years ago, and at that time in my life, I, rolled my eyes and was so irritated by hearing any of this kind of stuff, which is why it's surreal. Like, she was talking about this kind of stuff for years, and I'm realizing now, like, it made me viscerally angry. Like, I didn't want to hear anything about it. I don't know why that is. I haven't really done a deep dive into why at that point in my life several years ago did it make me so angry and uncomfortable.
It questioned your reality.
Yeah. Yeah. And yeah. Something I couldn't control that I didn't.
Yeah. It is scary almost to break down the barriers, to see that there's more than meets the eye.
So much more. And I feel like I'm knee deep in it right now. And I still have moments almost every day probably, where I'm like, what am I doing? Like, this is all baloney. I'm just running away from society, which, why not? Why shouldn't I? But you know what I mean? Like, where I'm questioning.
I'm all the time like, what are we doing here?
What are we doing? Well, it's like I go into that. It's got to be, I've got to punish myself in some way. Like, I'm doing something wrong, or this is just some hippy dippy baloney new age movement stuff. It's always been like this. But it's not, and
it's easier to dismiss something than to believe in it.
Nikola Tesla is really helpful to me. It gives me that comfort of the science, which, people talk about science or spirituality. They're so the same. Like, what is science besides pure magic? And we put these definitions on it, we explain it, but really, come on, it's magic. It's beautiful, beautiful spirit magic.
It's the witnessing of more than meets the eye.
Yeah.
It's the understanding.
Absolutely.
Like, as you go up your chakras, it's I am, I feel, I do, and then eventually you're like, I understand. You don't really say it, but
right.
Science is that understanding.
Do you think that it's possible? I'll try to keep it in the eye. Like, for you, do you think it's possible during this lifetime, continuing on your spiritual journey, that you're going to reach that level of I fully understand? Do you think that's possible in a human form? Just curious, like.
Yeah, if I listen to my ego.
Your ego will tell you you're going to be totally enlightened and sitting on the mountain.
No, I'd assume if this was my last cycle, I would probably leave if I did understand.
Huh.
Like, the story would end at that point.
So each cycle, each human life cycle for us possibly is like a leveling up, going up the chakras, to put it that way, like leveling up, like you reach this level.
That's, I mean, I don't know what I believe. I'm open to it all. But I definitely know that's more of the Hinduism idea.
Really?
That, yeah.
That's
The
right.
soul never dies, so it's constantly reborn.
Reincarnated.
And eventually you do make it to the Godhead. And, yeah.
So, Earth School is where we are.
Mm-hmm. What would you call this video game?
First of all, I would call it a video game because you know that makes me uncomfortable. I don't like the simulation theory.
I'm just trying to soften your trigger.
Might soften my triggers. Thank you. I appreciate
constantly,
that.
like, just minor doses of it.
That's good. What would I call this video game? Earth School.
Earth School.
Earth School. Absolutely.
Mm.
But surely they have to be learning lessons on other planets too. Like, we can't be the only ones, right? Like, we're not that, like, are we like alternative school in high school, like where they send the bad kids who have behavioral issues? Like, as far as the planetary system, is Earth like alternative school? That's really funny.
This is where the disruptive ones go.
Right? No, see, I've thought about, like, I love the movies, Guardians of the Galaxy movies. Michael's never seen those. I'm like, oh, we were watching
Yeah,
those.
you gotta show him.
But, you know, to put it simply, like in that context, like they have all these different planets and they look different and they have some personality differences and obviously huge cultural differences. But they have got to be other beings who have soul, they have spirit too. They're not human, but they have spirit too. Surely they are going through their own mind, body, spirit lessons. I've never thought about this before.
It's everything in the world's always changing. It's always growing or dissolving. So that's really all we're doing. Imagine that is life. It's the change.
The changing.
The dissolving, yeah.
Yeah. Yesterday I walked down to the water and it's just a cool, I love animals. I'm getting sober and being out in the country and being surrounded by so much nature. I walk Whisper. Whisper is my dog, best dog in the world, down to this lake every morning, sometimes 2 or 3 times a day. And been there almost 2 weeks now, and there's, what do they call them? A gander of geese? A gander of geese. And they're usually they've been so far out in the lake, but I started noticing, oh wait, they're getting a little bit closer every day we walk down here. And yesterday they got really close and started following us. Like, we stood there, but I stood there and watched them for about 5 minutes, and I was just watching their group dynamics. And there was 5 or 6 of them who were all together and they were communicating with each other. And then there were these other 2 that were a decent distance away from the rest of the gander. And they were in their own thing. They were communicating. At moments it looked like they were kind of bow up and flap at each other. I was like, oh, they're a married couple. They're bickering. And then, because other times they would kind of touch necks. I was like, yeah. Oh, I get what you guys are doing. But it's been so cool to just feeling that connection with animals. I just love it. I love it. And watching them, they're becoming familiar with me and my dog. Every day we walk down here, and now they're moving closer and closer. I don't know. It's just cool. Speaking of hippie stuff, that's super hippie. But
on your way home, y'all may need to go off your route and go through Jordan Lake, because there's one part of it right now that is just swarming with seagulls. Absolutely insane.
With seagulls?
Seagulls. It's one simple bay that is populated, completely covered. Like, it's not a flock of seagulls. Like, it's like a whole town, all just in this one bay.
On a
It's,
lake.
yeah, for the listeners, it's right across from the Ebenezer Church boat ramp.
Mm-hmm.
It's so bizarre and so beautiful.
Wow.
Yeah, yeah.
How did they end up there? Don't you wish, like, sometimes I wish animals could talk. I mean, they communicate, but I wish they could speak, our language. And then other times, like when it comes to my dog, I'm like, I'm so glad you can't talk. The things you could tell. You know what I mean? But, yeah.
We'll do that.
Yeah.
P Ridge?
Ebenezer Church. I'll send you the address.
Because P Ridge runs, that street runs for a long ways along Jordan.
Yeah, I saved the address because I shared it with someone recently, so I'll pass it on to you. But yeah, I think it's the Ebenezer Church boat ramp. You can go just across from that, right across from the Ebenezer, or you can cross the bridge and walk down. They have like a boardwalk on the opposite side. Yeah, Ebenezer Church boat ramp.
Have you walked down there?
Yeah, I definitely stopped. Had a beautiful moment. Light glimmering all off the water, all the seagulls swooping down. They're just constantly dropping down, grabbing some food, and heading back up into the sky.
Thousands.
I probably would say it's a good 1,000 there. There's also ducks, a group of ducks going across, and even witnessed a bald eagle swoop down, all right in the middle of it. And,
That reminds me, a couple of shows ago, I was on my way here, and I think it was Deep River. Crosses the road, goes under the road.
mhm.
And I'm about ready to get on that bridge, and right across comes a bald eagle right in front of me. I thought that was pretty special.
It does feel special.
Been in contact with Saint Michael, Archangel.
You been talking to yourself?
Yeah. Well, that's how it looks. The outside, yeah. Those that are peering in on me, and
Michael?
Gabriel too.
Michael, this is Michael. Say hi, Michael.
Oh, on the way here with Brittany, we're driving. We dropped into a bit of a quiet moment, and I said, "Okay, Archangel Gabriel, Michael," but it wasn't. It was me, and I was visualizing it was me through my skylight, was flying along, right there, and with my mind's eye, I look up and I'm like smiling and almost like joyful. Just looked down at me, and I looked up, and you're on the right path, right direction. All is well.
Always
That's pretty
is.
cool.
What's the difference between Michael and Gabriel? Do you know?
Some of the aspects of Michael is the fearless spiritual warrior.
Sounds like you.
Like if there's any sort of disturbance or problem, the warrior is there to, like, I guess in the Hindu it's who's that guy that is the remover of obstacles? What is his name? Anyway, it's that kind of same persona.
Hmm.
Remover of obstacles. And Gabriel is more of the nurturing, reassuring, all is well. But among other attributes.
It really sounds like almost a classic divine masculine and feminine in a sense.
There you go.
That pairing.
Hadn't put that together. Good one.
So maybe it's Gabrielle.
Depends divine masculine, divine feminine, divine spirit, non-binary. I'm a non-binary spirit that I identify with.
You identify?
I'm a non-human spirit. I don't identify with human. Call me alien.
Non-human.
I could definitely see you being an alien. Which I mean, we all kind of are, but you know what I mean.
My ears are starting to point. Oh, that would be elfish.
I could definitely see you coming from like Lord of the Rings, Hobbit land, one of those forest creatures for sure.
My grandfather's Barberino was Gandolfo Barberino, Lorenzo Barberino was his name.
Wow.
Little
Of course
Italian
it is.
grandpa.
Right? Italian. What is it? You're Italian and German, right?
Yeah, my dad's side's German.
Wow.
I'm second generation German and second generation Italian, along with my cousins and brothers and sisters.
Right.
Yeah.
Hey, brother.
Hey, brother. Saw everything. Remember, above all, everything is one thing. So, you've seen the part in The Alchemist where Santiago has 2 stones given by the King of Salem.
Yes.
Do not use these only when you really need an answer that you really can't come up with yourself, but always use your own stuff.
Yep.
And one, he was at a crossroads and he's like, oh man, I don't know. And he reached in for his stones, but one had fallen out of the bag.
Yep. There you
A
go.
hole in there he didn't even know it had. That was.
Yeah, I'm reading The Alchemist right now. I read it 2 or 3 times over the last 20 years. I might have even read it in high school the first time, but so good. I'm like savoring it. I tore through half of it the first day. You know, I love that, like reading the same book at different times in your life. Eckhart Tolle is like that with me. Like when I read, and then I'll read it again 10 years later, and I'm like, oh, I totally missed that, or
Wasn't relevant.
or
at
it
the
wasn't
time.
relevant at the time. Whatever it is, you know, it's just so cool. Books like that.
I love that experience with like movies as well.
Yeah.
Haven't seen them in ages, and you're like, whoa, this is so much more.
Relevant or effective, or I guess it just depends. Like, are we different, or
Mhm.
you know, gotta be
Always changing.
always changing.
And
God,
growing.
it's so tiring sometimes.
They grow in pains.
Growing things.
Shape shifting.
Transformation.
What were we talking about the other night? Shape shifting.
Transmuting.
Something was going on with you, and it wasn't like I'm turning from a human into an animal, but it
No.
was a perspective shift that was
Sure.
very similar properties.
Gotcha.
It's shape shifting. Oh, you saw yourself from a different perspective, your body.
Yeah.
I'm not recalling.
I don't know. We talk about a lot of things.
Was it like an out of body experience?
It might have been. I think it was possibly when I was sick in the hospital and I saw
Oh yeah.
those beings. Could have been that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to hear about these beings.
Oh, we're almost out of time. One day we'll sit down and I'll tell you that whole story from start to finish. That whole experience. Excuse me. It's not a story. That entire
The
experience.
diabetic coma sort
Yeah, the
of thing.
diabetic coma story, almost and near death and just insanity.
You're at the Light Council.
I was not at the Light Council. I don't know where I was. I was in between worlds or dimensions. Was definitely, and I had someone point out to me that one of the beings I described was very geometric in shape and all of it, and what I was seeing and experiencing, he was like, "That sounds like DMT. Like your brain was probably releasing a small amount of DMT.
Near death type experience.
Near death, essentially. And I was definitely near death. And I've been through every kind of alcohol, pretty much every kind of alcohol and drug withdrawal you can. I've been on every kind of drug and alcohol. I've never seen or experienced anything like I did that day. So it wasn't that, you know what I mean? It was.
So
The brain's natural DMT.
Yeah.
Huh?
The brain's natural DMT.
I'm pretty sure that's what it was.
Yeah.
I mean, so we're like kind of remembering, some people say, as we go through life. It's like, so there's this great forgetting, and so now it's just a remembering. What if we came in knowing our whole life path? You know, like, well, at 38, I'm going to have a near-death experience, and this is going to happen, and that's going to happen. I mean, wouldn't that just like take all the fun?
Oh, it would be awful.
It would be awful.
It would be
right?
awful.
It's like, what's the point anymore? There's no curiosity, there's no adventure, there's no discovering. I mean, that's what we are.
So then why do I
being.
claw and scratch and want answers for a month from now or 6 months from now? Like, why do I do that? I try to keep an eye. I know I'm not the only one, but it's so interesting because you're absolutely right. We came in knowing each milestone or everything that was going to happen. But yet, in the moment, I'm struggling recently with, I've always struggled with that. We all do. Wanting to know what's going to happen next.
The unknown?
Spoiler alert.
Yeah.
Brittany, spoiler alert.
I feel like it is almost like looking at a Christmas present under the tree. You're like, I know it's there, and I know I'll get it eventually, but I need to shake this thing and figure it out. Like,
Yeah.
what are you?
Because if we actually got all those answers, it would be so boring
Yeah.
So
and awful.
boring.
God.
It'd be terrible.
We're
Well, it wouldn't be.
impossible.
It would
Oh,
not
no.
be the human experience. It'd be something else.
Impossible. Human beings just impossible.
Wreck it.
Wreck it.
Wreck it to make a new one.
Make me more confused. I
Shoo.
love it.
I love that.
Please, sir, may I have another?
Yeah. Kids. I know I was that way. I always still am. I'm gonna go and destroy something. You go, oh well, look at my new toy I get to put back together. Won't be the same. It'll be a Frankenstein one, but I don't know. That's what we do. Humans. Humility. Humor. Yeah. Red, green, blue, yellow, orange.
So this is my first time in the studio. Last week, I called in.
Mhm.
This is my first time sitting here, and it's a window into a parking lot, like businesses all around.
So nice.
It is,
And
but
some trees.
and some trees. It's also really distracting for me. I might need to not face the window next time. Like, all I want to do is keep staring at people watching. Love people watch. I hate people watching.
Mm.
Sometimes it's gross. And I'm like, ugh.
Yeah, that's the trick. I know in one of the books I'm reading right now, it is recommending going to a park or a public place, and it says sit in that corner and just witness God in each person there. Like witness the light in them, no matter how you perceive them.
Wow, how about that for a practice?
That's
Yeah.
wonderful.
Therapy.
I am the Word. Great book.
I am the Word.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, very cool. I had a friend that was reading a book. It said, go out in a public place and lay down.
Yeah, that's like
Lay
Bagel.
right in the entrance of Walmart.
I think it was Bagel, Cat, and like Ari just plopping on the ground in the middle of Harris Teeter, just fully laid out, checking out a ladybug on the floor. It's like, yeah, do whatever weird thing you want to do. Like, nobody cares. Like,
Nobody cares.
be absurd.
Be absurd.
Do whatever you want. Like, this life's short, and if someone's judging you, that's their own issue. Like,
Well, as long as you're not like harming anyone else.
oh yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Right.
My
That's-
classic thing is
Sure.
do whatever you want as long as you're not hurting anybody.
Yeah.
Do as you will, harm no one.
Yeah.
The thoughts the amount of thought, mental energy that I have wasted and still do at times. I'm in progress, work in progress of thinking other people are judging me or caring about me, looking at what I'm doing. They're not. The majority of them
Very
are
self-absorbed.
too wrapped up in their own stuff, you know? And even if they are judging me, who cares? Who cares?
It's the ultimate ego trip,
Mm,
that thinking other people actually are giving you a thought at all.
right.
Hmm.
I mean, I know how self-involved I am, so surely.
Hmm.
Working on it.
Beauty above me, beauty below me, beauty surrounds me, beauty within me, the red road. Sound bath time. Settle in, lay back, find a restful position, sitting or laying, or maybe you'd like to do some stretching, some yoga poses. Child's pose is a favorite. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Imagine yourself floating downstream in a wide, wide river. Who else is floating there nearby, above and below? Are you my animal guide, my spirit guide? Do you have a gift for me? I have a gift for you here. Floating downstream. A small mountain is getting larger and larger as you float towards. An opening in the mountain as you float right on through a great cavern. Gemstones line the walls, ceilings, and green stones are now what you're floating on. Ahead is a beam of many jeweled colored lights from the cavern ceiling down, now upon you. This is a healing bath, a healing side trail. A library, many, many books, many shelves, high and low. You float on up to a book that's open. And on the blank pages a word appears. Thank you. A guardian angel, a divine being, lifts you up out of your golden, gem-colored flowing, and up you go and out of the cavern, being held and carried by this light being. Cuddled and swaddled, comforted. You receive a gift of quiet curiosity. Returning now, the angel brings you back to the library, back into the golden green flow, and out of the cave, floating downstream. With the beings in the lake, in the river next to you. As you thank them and say goodbye for now. We'll be waiting for you when you return. Thank you. Back into your bodies. Your awareness is now back into your body. Resting. Long deep breaths when you're ready. Thank you, thank you. Thank you, thank you. Long deep breath. Medicine drum sound bath. Native drum dream meditation. Shamanic drum journeying. Legends from the Painted Cave, WCOM FM LP. We are in Carborough, Chapel Hill area of North Carolina. And we would like to treat you to a medicine drum sound bath in person sometime at your party or gathering. We'd be glad to travel to your place. Many festivals going on. Festival season is very close. We have the Festival of Ian's.
What?
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 What? What's the Festival of Ian's?
We're all Ian.
Oh, jeez. I would like to be a little bit of Ian.
You are. You're Ian.
You're Ian.
I'm Brittany. I mean Bridget.
Here we go. Bridge. Just call me Bridge.
Bridge is good.
Bridge.
Bridge is Quite the metaphorical love space. So Shikori Hills, every first weekend of May and October, twice a year. We'll be volunteering this year, Ian? Happily.
Yep.
My life as a volunteer.
Yeah. You can volunteer over the span of the festival. There's opportunities before and after.
Or during.
I believe there's even opportunities right now because they need help with advertising. So if you don't want to blend your work and play together, go and get it out of the way now. Festival of Legends. When is that? Is that the weekend before? So the last weekend of April. What else do we have? Are we doing John I's thing? The Lucid Dream?
Maryland, it's a long drive.
Yeah.
But goes so much better with companions along.
Yep.
So I'm getting closer to a yes on that one.
Okay. We doing some big dub, some little dub.
Big dub.
We gonna get zenned out. One's in.
There's so much going on right in that area. Maryland and Delaware, man.
We should take the trip through the Amish land, give them a sound bath while we're up there.
Just drop in on them.
Yeah, have them drop in.
So Legends of the Fall, last weekend of April, then Shikori, and then Casual Campout, which is a 3-day camping.
That's the one.
Medicine Drum at all.
Is I guess Leaf's not happening this year, or?
Not the spring one, 'cause it's
Okay.
Casual Campout.
Okay.
I mean, they're holding that, yeah.
Okay. But yeah, less of a drive because that's right in Raleigh, correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. Right.
When are we hitting up Burning Man?
I haven't had an itch for that yet. But we do have regional burns here.
Yep.
Nearby. Coracle is actually at Shikori Hills grounds in November. That's a camping event. Super fun. They got would you just look at that?
Would you look at that?
Seneca, love you. Amelia. Oh my gosh, Bayo, everybody. Michael Wolf. Kat. So many to thank.
Louis,
Thank you.
Layla, June, Mac, Paulo, Anna, said Bagel, Bridge, Kurt,
Ian. Love you guys.
Love you guys.
Thank you for being here in Legends of the Painted Cave. We're signing off now, and just, love you. Hope to see you soon. Drop in again for a Medicine Drum Sound Bath. Give us a call. We'd love to be at your gathering.
Thank you.
You are listening to 103.5 FM WCOM LP Chapel Hill and Arbor. Están escuchando 103.5 FM WCOMLP Chapel Hill y
No sabes lo que vieras si me vieras y dijeras tú que no sabes que...
Welcome to Radio Survivor, the sound of strong communities. My name is Paul Rees-Mandel.
Hello, everybody. It's Eric Klein here on Radio Survivor, and we're talking about the possibility. Maybe you never dreamed that you could build a tiny radio station totally legally in your home or town.
Very tiny radio stations
Part
that you
15.
can operate without a license that can reach your neighborhood, perhaps even, or at very least your block, your building, and you don't have to worry about the FCC, and you can pretty much play anything you want. It's not a fantasy.
Hiccups love you.
It is. This is